So,
Hey, Michelle, I can see you this time.
Yay! I'm in the torpedo factory. I went back to my studio, but the challenge was that the acoustics, my Wi-Fi isn't very consistent, so that's the challenge. Ooh, I like your studio. I had to move from my studio to the open area, but
okay.
Yeah, maybe I can see you in the studio. Wow. Okay, so today I'm just following the program, and so today we're doing our ideal client. I watched both the Discovery Part 2 and Discovery Part 3. Part. And so,
I'm having trouble hearing you, and somebody's making a lot of noise.
yes,
Sounds like somebody's playing ping pong.
yes.
I'm not vacuuming today. I promise.
I'm going to try moving upstairs, guys. Let me move.
can you mute it as you're moving?
Yes, I will. Hi, John.
Have less noise. We'll have the noise. How is the noise? Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry. I'm going to sign off. I can't hear any of you. So
Well, we aren't talking, actually.
No, we're not talking, and we can hear you.
We're just waiting to get settled.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear you, Marianne,
Okay.
but I can't hear Shirley Ann.
Hi. But can everyone else hear me?
Yes. I've got you.
Now, yes.
Okay. Let me start all over again. So I was saying that we're continuing with the program for module. Well, whatever. But I'm suggesting that we dive deeper into our ideal client based on everything that Alex has guidance for. So of course we began the discussion about our ideal client. I think going for our ideal client, as I call it, the holy grail. So I think it's beneficial to.
Shirley, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm still having trouble. You're coming in and out, in and out.
Yeah. I think maybe it's a microphone situation. It only picks up when you're speaking kind of loudly, and I think it sort of fades out after that.
I'll speak up. Right.
Better.
Okay.
I'll start one more time.
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
So I was saying that we're just following the program. And today I'm suggesting that we dive deeper into knowing our ideal client and being able to speak to our ideal client and identifying our ideal client. So I watched the videos, Discovery Part 2 and Discovery Part 3. And so that's what I'm proposing to discuss. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
It's better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll just move closer and talk louder. So I'll give you, let me use myself. I'm not taking my turn now, but let me use myself as an example to illustrate what I'm continuing to understand. Because as you know, it's a spiral, this journey, going deeper and deeper into psyche. So what I figured out was Alexis used this example of an abstract painter. And when she did her deep dive, she realized that her clients were drawn to her, yes, because of the paintings, but more because of the caption added to her posts when she posted on Instagram. So, can you hear me?
Oh.
It's still coming in and out.
What's going on?
Do you know, it's interesting. You may be affecting your signal by the movement of your hands.
Oh.
It's a funny thing my boyfriend tried to explain to me. You move around and sometimes you mess up the signal in the air around what's receiving it. Sometimes.
That's interesting.
Very interesting. Okay, let me keep that log on my phone. I'll keep this broadcast. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not getting you.
So I'm on two screens. There's going to be an echo. Oh my god.
Yeah, now you've got feedback.
Okay, I'm going to move away. Because I can't stop the other. Oh my god. I can't stop the other one, otherwise it'll stop recording.
Okay, I've got you. Can clearly hear you now.
Okay, I may have to go upstairs because there's still an echo. Oh boy.
I do hear you much better, Shirley.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm using my phone and I'm going upstairs. Okay. I'm in my. All right. Is it better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Right. We're making it work. So, I will start one more time.
Yes.
So, I was saying for the fourth time.
Sounds like me talking to my children. How many more times?
Okay.
Now I don't hear you at all.
I'm not talking. I'm just trying to set my phone up.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, we're talking about our ideal clients and trying to get deeper into her psyche, his or her psyche. I think that's what all of this client discovery is about. And so I said I was going to give some illustrations so that we can all follow with the conversation. And so I was talking about how Alexis talked about this artist that she worked with. And when she
her deep dive into her clients, she found out that yes, they were attracted to her art, but even more so, what really drew them, what made them resonate with her was the spiritual quotes that she added to her Instagram post. So I found that to be fascinating because it's one thing for people to be drawn to our art, but I thought it was very interesting that her ideal clients resonated with her because of the quotes that she added to the posts. So I see this as continuously building the relationships with our clients. And so one of the exercises we could all play with was a day in the life of our ideal client and seeing how our offerings into a day in the life of, you know, the whole thing. So
what's that? Sorry.
I just came up with something just briefly to illustrate the power of communication with our ideal clients. So my ideal client.
Shirley Ann, are you still there? I don't hear her now, and I'm not getting
I
the
don't
video.
either.
There you are again.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything.
It's just an irregularity in the signal.
Okay. Let me just try and illustrate that we can move on and begin the discussion. So I was just talking about my ideal client and how maybe a newsletter or an Instagram post from me could meet my ideal client in the middle of her day and maybe make her smile, make her laugh. And
Okay,
maybe
I'm
that's
on a conference call. I'm sorry.
okay. And maybe that's what reminds her about my art and makes her want to go back and visit my website. So I'm just seeing how this ongoing relationship with our ideal clients. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I've illustrated the point, and so now I'll invite you to do three things. One, and we've done this, but again, it's a spiral. One, to talk about who we would want our ideal client to be. Two, what would be the ideal point of contact with our ideal client? And three, how will our consistent communications, especially online, continue to inspire our ideal client to want to stay in our world and ultimately purchase our art? Is that clear? Do we get that?
Yes.
Can you just repeat the whole of the third one again? Because I'm trying to write it down.
Okay. What did I say?
How would our online communication, I think you said.
The first thing is to create. Let's be creative. Create our perfect client, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is to talk about the ideal way in which we would like our ideal client to first encounter us. Do we want them to encounter us on Facebook? Do we want it to be through an Instagram post? Do we want it to be through a podcast. I have no idea. But how would we want our ideal client to first encounter our art? So that's the second question. And then 3, to use our imagination to create a day in the life of our ideal client and see how best our art and our communication falls into a day in the life of our ideal client. What's the point of intersection? And what will keep them inspired to want to stay in our world and ultimately purchase from us? So is that clear now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we start from the beginning or the end?
The end, please. My daughter is sick, so I just went out, so I would just drop in.
Start.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. So I didn't hear all you said because
So do
my
you want
husband.
Do you want me to go first again?
What did you? Okay. Okay. Yes. Just to set the ball rolling, because today's been awkward.
Who do I want? I want somebody with deep pockets. I'm looking at interior designers. I'm looking now at hotels that are on beaches, Airbnb. Do you know what Airbnb is? You have that in the States, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I've been gone 6 years and it wasn't really going great guns then in the States. Anyway. So who do we want? Yeah, I want high-end homes, new designers, hotels, shops and offices. Everybody, I'm greedy. That's the answer to one. I'm just going to put down here everybody. Ideal point of contact for me initially through through social media. So that could be my website. It could be my Facebook. That could be my Instagram. That could be LinkedIn. Any one of those 4 platforms is where I'm active. So that would be my ideal initial point of contact. And how would my online presence, that's supposed to say, isn't it? Presence. Well, I'm hoping I've now decided that I'm going to write a weekly blog, not a monthly blog. I write a monthly newsletter. And I've got everything's done now. I was determined to get it all done before this weekend, and I've got it. I've got my landing page. I've got my email sequence. I'm advertising to people that I've written my blog. I've written my newsletter. I've opened up my list for people that want to take classes from me so that I can record it so they get free classes, and I've got 2 people on the list. So I kind of feel as if here's the precipice and I'm standing just there waiting for it. So yeah, I think I just got to keep it to become, it's an organic thing, isn't it? I suppose I've just got to keep going. I still don't know how to build my list. That's my day one. That's been my problem. I don't have a list. I've got 35 people on it now. Most of them are friends.
So because of the discussions we've had, how is it going with your lead magnet? Because obviously that seems to be the way to build the list.
Hopefully, I launched it. The whole thing we launched the day before yesterday.
Okay.
So I now just have to sit back and wait. See what happens.
So are you creating ads with your lead magnet?
I will be. I will be doing a Facebook. I thought I don't want people to be bombarded too much, because I think that's off. I know I would be put off. I would just block you. That, you know, as simple as that. So I thought my blog and my newsletter went out. The landing page I changed so that it said sign up for my newsletter and you get my free guide to how to buy art. So the whole lot was all finalized on Wednesday. Done. So now I think what I need to do is I need to go away for a week and wait and see what happens. And then I'm away until next Wednesday anyway on a course. So next Thursday, the plan is to have a look and see what's happened, and then set up Facebook ads.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like you're in motion, you have a plan, and you're only going to know after you put it out there and see if it's really going to bring in your ideal client.
Yeah.
Onto your list. So like you said, you're right there.
Yeah.
You know, you're right there. Okay.
Still don't know how to build the list though. Still don't know. I still don't understand it. I still don't see it. But I just have to sit and see what happens.
I think that the amount of stuff you've done has put a lot of energy forth. I think that's going to bring a result of some sort from some direction. I think that at this point, just relax about it, because the rest of the effort shows that, you know, the energy is going out. The energy will come back. You know, you're in a good spot. It sounds like you need a break. You get to get filled with all kinds of new stuff for the next few days. Yay. So, you know, just relax.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to being up in the mountains in the cold, but I'm looking forward to the break.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay. So is there anything else, Alison?
No, the only thing that it suddenly occurred to me listening to Alexis yesterday, the idea that she has more than one lead magnet. And that just hadn't computed in my head at all, that she has lots of different ways of bringing you down that. So lots of different lead magnets funneling you down into what she wants you to do, which is to take her course. So that's kind of buzzing around in my head at the moment. How can I use that? How can I use that to bring people in? But we'll see. I've got ideas going round and round and round.
Okay, that's wonderful, and it's definitely something for all of us to think about. So, yeah, thank you. Okay, Beata, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I can. So, I have different ideal clients who I defined. Last time I mentioned you that the first group of ideal clients are my ideal clients resonate with my figurative art, mainly because they are looking for some kind of a hope, as they lost someone in the past, or they live very far from their loved ones, for example, on another continent, as an expat, for example. And the another type of people mainly resonate with my abstract art, looking for some joy and delight in their living room, and they can connect it to their memories, which obviously different than mine. I know about them that they are lawyers or economists working for multinational companies. And I also identified through very low budget Facebook ads that my ideal clients should be between 35 and 45 years, so in this age range. very interestingly, they live in certain countries. I have no idea why, but they live either in Malaysia, inside Europe, in Poland, Italy, Spain, Portugal. There's a few Hungarians. And that's what I could collect approximately about them.
Yeah, that's a lot of information.
Yeah, but it's not so easy to find them and approach on the right way. So I broke my approach into two different projects, and I started the first one, which would aim to target those clients who would be interested in my figurative art. And I created two type of lead magnets for this my little ebook that I just started sharing. And that's about my Strong Women painting series and the stories behind it. And I also offer some printable downloads. As Alison mentioned, probably it would be very valuable to offer in the same time the different lead magnets, but I have no idea how to solve this technically.
Okay.
So have no idea for the technical solution.
Okay.
Your second question was very interesting because you asked how we want to encounter with the ideal client. And I thought that Facebook would be ideal because it's easier to develop a relationship with the client, much easier than on Instagram, for example. However, my Facebook page is not adequately developed, so I just recognize that I probably need to focus more on that. And the communication, that's a really great question. How I want to fit my art into their day, and how I can somehow encourage them to buy, because I have no idea what's the final point in a client to decide on buying, because those person who I asked and could contacted, all of them were these immediate type buyers. So when they see, they decide, okay, I love it, and that's all.
Okay.
but that's only one type of client, and I have no idea about the other three types.
Okay.
How I should. So I need to think about it a little bit more.
Okay. All right. So,
but probably you will inspire me.
Okay, I hope so. So I have a question about no idea as to how to. Oh God, I'm not downstairs, so I'm not taking notes. You talked about having a struggle with something. Can you remember what that was? That was on your second point.
Yeah.
The points of contact and Facebook.
Contact content. Yes. So in reality, my Facebook page is not adequately developed. So there, I didn't share too much of my artwork. Okay. I started at some point of time my Facebook page, but I failed to post my earlier work, so it's not consistent enough. I could create albums on Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I definitely need to work on that.
Ideally, what would you like your Facebook page to be like? What would you want the content, the activity there to be like? Ideally.
Ideally, probably similar to my normal Facebook profile, because it's much more developed.
Okay.
Yeah, I have much more visitor there, but I wanted to separate my business from my personal connections.
Okay. So have you invited, so because you want to separate your business page from your personal page, so that would tell me that you haven't really invited people to your business page. Yes, to your art.
Yes, only a few of them who liked a lot my art, not the others. Probably I should invite the others as well. Yeah,
Okay.
that may help.
So, yeah. So are you are you posting? Are you like, because I feel with your art, maybe stories. You know, when you post daily, you tell a story, especially with the figurative art, maybe a story behind it. Just thinking about ways that you can share on social media. So just things to think about. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Or do you have any questions or anything?
I would like to add something. Is that all right? I saw this artist on Instagram who has on her website, she has a bar that says resources, and then you can pick a resource, and it's all 4 different kinds of lead magnets, and if you click one, no matter which one you choose, you have to sign up for her newsletter. And you can select more than one. If you want all 4, you can just sign up. But no matter what, you sign up for her newsletter. So I think a good idea could be to in Instagram ads and Facebook ads on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page, just mention these different kinds of opt-ins you have. Like, get a free guide to design guide, click here, and then they sign up, and then another day you mention one of the other ones, and then on the website they can see all the free stuff, because people, they like free stuff. Yes. I thought that was such a good idea, just free resources. And I think that would be good for advertising also, and then you can try to target different groups with different lead magnets.
Sounds great.
I'm gonna try that, working on creating some different ones. I can post her webs. I will write her web page so you can have a look.
Thank you so much. That will be really helpful.
Thanks.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No problem.
Well, we're there. It's your turn.
Yes.
Pamela.
Let me see. I am ready to talk now. Yes. So I think the people who have resonated the most with my art are 25 to around 40, and as I've mentioned, I see a pattern in that a lot of them are building new houses, and which means there's a great potential, because they have a lot of blank walls, and many of them are telling me they want to fill it with one artist. So that's a great target group for me to reach those. So that's what I'm aiming for. And I think I've been thinking about, that's what they need. They know they need. That's art for a blank wall. And I think the thing that Alexis is talking about, that they don't know they need, that I want to give, that I want them to resonate with, is my story and I want them to think about being their authentic selves and going after their dreams, doing things that they like, doing more of what we like, because that's my own story. That's me starting to go after this artist dream, is me being a happier version of me. Yeah, so that's the story I want to sell with my paintings on my Instagram and on my Facebook, in my emails, and hopefully people will resonate with the reminder of remember to dream, and take action. So that's my plan, and I think the most obvious, the easiest place for me to find them is Instagram, because I can search for hashtags. There are hashtags, new build houses hashtags, but my struggle is that they don't know when they see my profile that I have a new build house. So I'm struggling to find a subtle way to approach them, so it doesn't look like I'm just trying to sell my art. I want to connect with them, and then, by the way, I made, this is my house, and I want them to say, oh, who made the painting? Yeah, sort of like that. That's what I'm struggling with the most. And it's the same on Facebook, because I can find interior design groups, and I can, but I'm not allowed to advertise. I'm not allowed to in those. So how do I, how do I build relationships? That's,
I know.
Yeah. That was
all you need to do, because I had somebody helping me. Somebody not from this course. All we need to do is to write to people and say, we are artists and we are trying to understand. So for the interior designers, trying to understand how interior designers select artists to work with, or with the new homeowners, trying to understand how moving house affects them, and whether a new space means new art, and how they would approach doing that, in order that you can perhaps present them with ideas to help them with their new homes. So you don't ever ask them, buy my art. You just say, can you help me understand what you need?
That's a good idea.
And if they see your art and they like it, great. But if not, they might just come back and say, well, or they might not. But as I said I don't know if anybody saw, Julia posted in the Profit Canvas page today her email sequence. And she was saying that she was sending out her SMIQ at the end, asking her customers to say what they thought of the work that they bought off her. And as I said in Canvas, what's their incentive to come back and give you that information? So every time we ask somebody a question, we have to say, if you can answer this question for me, I will give you this free whatever. Because otherwise, how many people bother? I mean, sometimes I might think, oh, I'm bored, I'll answer that question. But 9 times out of 10, I think, oh, click, 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 delete, delete, delete.
That's true.
Yeah.
True.
That's true.
That's very true.
So you'll have to think of something you can give them for nothing, Camilla.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And I'm just, now you're saying it, I'm just thinking I can, because nobody knows, as I mentioned, that I built a house myself, and that is why I think that my paintings fit particularly well in, because it's so, clean, the look without. And then
you need something on that wall behind you.
Absolutely.
I have no paintings on my wall. They're all in my exhibition. I'm an artist with no art in my house. It's terrible. But what I just thought also is that I can try to show pictures. If somebody is asking, you have any suggestions for the new sink for my bathroom, and I can show a picture of my sink from my bathroom, and then maybe if I keep doing that, I keep being, helpful, and then people will eventually, who is that Camilla girl? Yeah, so I can try it. That would be subtle.
I read something the other day. I don't know if I mentioned it in the Monday group, that if you put something in front of somebody seven times, they become comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
guerrilla marketing.
On your website, you have to put it up. Do this, click this button 7 times, and that. But it's also the same thing true of if we're trying to say to an interior designer, work with me 7 times. They have to see your work before they're going to even think about it.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, that has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to keep asking. And I would hang a beautiful painting behind you, Camilla, because when you put your picture up for anybody to see anywhere, have one of your beautiful paintings hanging behind you, so they ask about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should. I have to. Yeah, thank you.
Go and take one of those ones out of the exhibition and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's sold."
I just did. I just changed my exhibition because I sold one. I know the person who bought it, but the price was a good price, so I'm happy. And it looks nice in my exhibition.
Right.
Good.
Yeah,
Good. What I have to add, if your own house is a new house built by, you have to talk about it and stage your house. Show people what your art looks like in your new house.
Yeah.
That's the easy connect with someone who also has a new house. I think that should be your primary way of showcasing your art in your own home, your own white spaces, and then talking about it. Talk is a new house.
That's a really good idea, because I see that people, their interior design, the people who are interested, that matches my own a lot, but they don't know that. So it would, make them feel more comfortable. I think more,
Yeah.
I
think
work on
all
that.
of us, it's so, because we're all living in our own worlds. It's hard. We can't even. It's like we think everything is evidence that, they should know, or but we still have to talk about it. I know I hate talking about it, but we still have to talk about it. Otherwise, they'll see it, but they still won't make the connections. So.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's what I think. Okay,
There's
so
one more
is
little
there?
bit.
Sorry, Camilla, one more thing. Where you live, are there lots of other new houses being built around you?
Yes, it's a huge area. So is it? Yeah, and I have friends.
Why don't you have an open house? Put all your artwork on your walls and say, "I'm having an open house of artwork." So everybody that's coming to look at the houses can see what your work can look like in their home.
Mm-hmm. Very good idea.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
But would it be too pushy to put flyers in every mailbox in my area, because there are 200 houses saying, "Oh, by the way, I paint"?
No. And in fact, if you can work with your real estate agent, whatever you call them out there, get in contact with one of the local real estate agents and say, "Look, this is what I'm planning to do. If you've got any clients in the area, please bring them along." And there's a commission of 10% in something.
Yeah. If there are real estate agents taking people to a model house of any kind, I've done this, where sometimes the agents will have an open house and you work ahead of time to set up a show in that house, hang artwork in that house, on easels, whatever they will allow. And they get a commission if they help sell something. You also have, I don't know how many of the houses are finished in the area you're in, but if something could be worked out with the builder directly, to say, well, would you allow me to hang in this circumstance if this is not sold yet? That all depends on the how safe it is to do that, because I know in varying circumstances you can't control who comes and goes. They almost have to agree to that your paintings are in a safe circumstance so they don't get removed and stolen by somebody. But I have worked through this, and sometimes even with one or two other artists, we've all placed artwork in the house. And it's been for sale. It's evident it's for sale. You know, you can work that muscle if you just get in touch with the right people and get their permission. Those are good relationships to start. Because real estate people have bought a lot of my work because that's where they learned about me, through open houses. And they're the ones that are making the money. You know, they usually have six-figure incomes. So
how
that's
high
a
a
good market
percentage do you offer them, Marianne?
well, it could be negotiable. I had an interior designer who was working with a real estate agent, and so we sort of worked around 30%. But you have to play back and forth with that a little bit. Consider what you're willing to do ahead of time. You know, a gallery space can be as much as 50%, and then back it down from there. I've got people that take 30. I've had people who take 20. I got people who take 40. It all depends on your personal relationship with them, and you just be willing to stand there and negotiate and know what your limit is.
Yes, so many good ideas. I have a really good relationship with the company who built my house, and they regularly build model houses. So I should definitely get them on my contact list.
Yes, and make the effort to go see them personally and build a really strong situation with them, because they'll open doors for you.
Okay, I hate that, but I will work on that.
I have one more thing I just remembered. It's something that I've wanted to do, but the residential codes here are really strict, so you can't do any commercial stuff at home. But there's an artist I follow. Her name is Jacqueline Coates, and she teaches, she paints these gigantic flowers. And not only does she paint, but she teaches. And she also teaches her students how to build businesses after they've learned how to paint her style of flowers. And one of the things she recommends is that you build a gallery in your home. Because she lives in Australia, you know, she doesn't live like in the city, so that's something that she's done, which has worked for her. What to be fascinating is not only does she show her own art, but she shows other artists' art.
Right.
But it becomes a win-win because the other artists bring in their audience, you know, and they get to see your art, right? So it becomes a community that you build, you know, and then it becomes a win-win all around. Her be fascinating. So I can post some of her links in the group.
Yes.
If you decide to sign up, to receive my free guide to art,
I didn't receive it, but I am already a sign up to your newsletter, but no guide.
You didn't get the guide come through?
No.
Sent it through that day. Well, we'll send it again.
Thank you.
When you get it, all the photographs of artwork in my house and in my dining room, I have it's like a gallery on both sides of the dining room. I've got a gallery hanging, and I have all sorts of people's arts, everybody's kind of art, so that you know, just have a look, see what you think, because that's the sort of thing you can do in your own home easily. Not expensive. I'm sorry you didn't get that, Camilla. Thank you for letting me know.
No problem.
I will go and smack that boy. He was supposed to sort that out.
Yeah, because I was already a sign up. Maybe it's only for the new sign ups, but it's I have trouble with MailChimp too. It's
okay. I'll resend it. I'll resend it. No worries.
Great.
Camilla didn't get the sign up. This child has not even got out of bed yet today. What time is it? 6 o'clock in the evening. Thingy, what's it? You know, the free guide. He was already on the list. So, What do you want? Go away.
Oh, I was going to ask what you wanted with the steak.
Mhm.
Do you want chips
Oh,
or
okay,
vegetables?
Camilla, is there anything you'd like to add, Camilla?
No, thank you. I'm
Okay.
just really feeling momentum and full of energy. It's great. So many ideas.
Good.
Pull down from the top, click on
Good.
that, and then do transfer files. And now you can do it.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
And it's your turn.
But now you can.
Say again. Now you broke up.
Oh, thank you.
So, what did you want with your
I don't mind. Whatever.
chips, vegetables?
Vegetables.
What vegetable?
I don't mind. Surprise me.
Broccoli, sweet corn, carrots,
Yes.
anything.
Anything.
Broccoli.
Carrots.
I apologize.
So am I guessing it's my turn?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. Well, my week has been spent getting my studio back up into a running format. It has been put away to some extent since April because I had an open house show and I emptied my walls and stuck stuff in closets and got ready for the public to come in. And of course, in that operation, anywhere from about 50 to 80 people show up. So, and I have a tiny house, so everything is stuck away. So I have been living with that version for months when I've been here at home. So I took my first part of the week and reorganized my studio and got it back up into production mode, with my current goal being getting my 2x2 foot abstract paintings up so that they can be viewed by my gallery. They have a fall show and they make their decisions anywhere like 6 to 8 weeks in advance. So I'm not going to miss the opportunity for them to at least take a look at the work and see if they want it. And you know, they may or may not. They vary from time to time depending on what they think the market is looking for and what they want to sell. So if they don't take what I'm currently offering, I'm going to approach another gallery in a bigger city about an hour and a half away that I've made some contact with. But that's just finishing out a direction that I had headed earlier this year and then end of last year. I have some other ideas for work I'd like to pursue. Part of what has stopped me from going out and trying to get another audience going with emails and trying to build my list, because I wasn't sure what direction I wanted to take things in. That's starting to grab hold, and I'm very excited about all the things that I'm learning from everybody in this group, because it makes me feel better about the next step that will be required. So my ideal client in the past through interior designers have been busy women, usually age 35 to 65, fairly successful folks. Busy. I'm sorry, I had a phone call coming in. Let's see, what can I say about this? Something was said in the live call yesterday that, and I think somebody was talking about their how to buy art sheet. Maybe it was Allison, maybe it was someone else, but that, do you know what kind of thing you're wanting? And this is the connecting with and providing for the client what it is they're looking for. My folks seem to want peaceful respite, some kind of relief from their day job, and most of my soft, subtle pieces are what they chose. The other thing I began to offer were the more non-objective abstracts that were bolder, and those would be for someone that maybe is not looking for the respite and wants something interesting, more exciting, more, vibrant. But I have not sold a lot in that market yet, so that's still kind of experimental. The thing I'm thinking about going back to that involves peace and respite, or more of a nighttime pieces with moonlight, mysterious, but bright enough, light enough that people are not put off by darkness. So silvery, contemplative pieces. This is what I'm looking at pursuing. I have found that I am much more attracted to Instagram than I was. I have a business Facebook page, but I just drag my feet at posting on it. And I've got about 70 people, I think, that have said that they liked it, I believe. I could work that more than I have. I probably will. And I really like this thing that you just suggested, Camilla, with the offerings and having them choose something. And before they get it, they have to give you their email. I mean, that just sounds, for Instagram in particular, that sounds great, because I could see setting that up. Right there is where I'm at for now. Again, I appreciate hearing everybody's feedback, because it sure gives me something to play with going forward.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
I was going to say something and I can't remember what I was going to say, which is typical of me, I know. But what were you saying that somebody said about in the Facebook group? In the chat? Yesterday?
Camilla. Was it, might have been you or might have been somebody else. They were talking about what are your clients after when they come home? What are they looking for? Is it to calm down, or is it to bump up their energy?
It's not about when they come home. There's been quite a lot of research done on the psychology of this. People whose lives are chaotic want to come home to something that's calm. People whose lives are boring, so they sit in an office and they hate their job, want to come home to something lively. And that's figuring out which of your clients are feeling what. So that's really digging underneath kind of people.
Wow, I think fascinating.
Yeah, and I think that if I'm truthful, I want to offer something to both.
Yeah,
I'm having a real hard time getting into one lane and staying there, because it's not me personally. It's like I have two sides. Sometimes I want a bold, wake me up painting, and other times I want something that just please. I want to step away from the outside world. I want peace, something that doesn't, make me have to think too hard.
Well, that often is reflective of the rooms. I mean, let's face it, you wouldn't want something vibrant and gold and red and flying around in your bedroom where you want peace and calm. And the same perhaps for your living room. But in a dining room where you want to encourage lively conversation, you want bright and sparkly or whatever kind of pieces. So I think rooms come into play a bit. And although I've done my free how to buy art guide in one of my blogs, because I'm trying to think of things to write about, one of the things I'm going to be writing about in the next few months when I've researched it is the psychology of buying art for your walls and what it is you're trying to achieve.
Yes. Yeah, well, as you all talk more about that, I realize that I have experience, because I've done custom work for people, and because I have an interior design degree, this is how I ended up applying that knowledge. I would walk in as I was preparing to create something for their circumstances. I'd ask questions. I'd look around. I'd try to make a good choice rather than just do whatever came off the top of my head. I selected things that were appropriate for their lifestyle, for their space, for what they wanted to feel. So I understand that whole concept. I hadn't thought about writing it down. And you're talking about doing that. And I think Michelle also was talking about offering that too. I realize that's something I have to offer, and that I just need to sit down and write it out. My philosophy of how to consider placement.
And you can use the fact that you've been an interior designer to back that up. It's perfect for you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So when you've written it, can you share it with me so I can plagiarize it?
Yeah, I'll share it.
I just wrote down, sign up for Mary Ann's newsletter.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. And I think this will apply to all of us. I don't know about you, but upon embarking on this journey of being an artist, I find that I've forced myself to shed other parts of my career and just focus on being an artist. But with these conversations, I'm seeing how we need to bring all of us to the table, all of ourselves, all of our stories, all of our experience. And that's what will make us more individual and will provide more value to our collectors.
I think the comment, and I'm not sure who it was that said it, but being an artist is not a way of, it's not a job, it's a way of life. I think that we have to believe that And if we don't believe that, we won't get anywhere.
Absolutely. I agree. So, and just to add to that, I watched the feng shui experts talk about, so as you know, I'm all about romance. And she said, all the colors of the rose, you know, if you want romance in your life, paint your home or your bedroom, pick any color that is a color of a rose, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, she said a lot of other things that go, you know, but to bring all of this information to our clients in the form of blogs, newsletters, and free downloads, it's providing value. You know,
Also, as far as color of the rose, skin tones, and that goes for all colors, skin tones. And you know, depending on what your skin tone happens to be, you pick things that you look good in, and that's what you paint your bedroom. It's what you paint, you know, the space what you want someone to see you in.
Absolutely, yes, yeah, that's true. So yes, thank you. All right, Marianne, is there anything else you would like to add?
I think that's it for now. I've got lots to think about. It's exciting.
It is.
Yes.
It is. Okay, so it's my turn. I'm more to, you know, more I constitute into the world as an artist. I find more possibilities opening up to me as I continue to let go of other things. One example is letting go of the idea of an online course. But then I turned that into a real life experience, you know. So I'm starting with that because I'm going back to my ideal client, who do I want her to. Should I? Let me move again. Okay, I hope it's better here. Is it better?
Yeah.
Good so far.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I was saying that in my culture, what I was used to was taking care of people. You know, people just want to cross their legs and have everything done for them. And that's not American culture, you know. So I'm continuously trying to figure out how to bring that feeling to my immediate client. So coming back to my client, she's busy, she's successful, she has a very busy life. On the outside, she's put together. She has the beautiful home, all of the wonderful things. But on the inside, there's this longing. And I've had these conversations. This is why I'm sure I've had them with my friends, not necessarily with my clients. But there's this longing for lost dreams and the consistent question of, is this all there is? And is this what I signed up for? And what are the dreams I had when I was a little girl? You know, so I don't want to go into the darkness and, you know, go into the sadness, but I still want to address the sadness because it's something I experience. I have my own sadness. I don't think this is the life I was dreaming about when I was 20 years old. But at the same time, I don't talk about it. You know, I show up and I do what I'm supposed to do. I take care of my son. I keep a good home. So I want to touch on that nerve without becoming morose. You know, I want to touch on that nerve, but still be inspiring. So that leads me to how do I want my ideal clients to encounter. And I used to think I wanted to create Facebook ads and Instagram ads. And I realized I don't want to. What I want to do is to contact people who are having similar conversations, like authors, poets, fellow artists, designers, and possibly run interviews with the hope that if I interview someone, they'll blast it out to their audience, and then I can blast the interview out to my audience, and then there's this ongoing conversation happening. And maybe one day I'll want to do the ads and stuff, but I just think for what I'm offering, it's a little too impersonal, and that's been the struggle that I've had. It requires a deeper connection. So I really I would prefer the first offerings to be through someone through someone you've been following for a while, someone you trust, someone who you're comfortable with, whether it's a blogger, an artist, an influencer, or whatever. And I feel that it bridges the gap. It creates a sense of trust initially as compared to an Instagram ad from someone you don't know. So that's something I've been thinking about. And then what was the last thing? How do I want to encounter? What's the communication? So I've been working diligently on my website. In order to have these interviews, they have to have I want to be the one who's there are a couple of people who I've subscribed to, a writer, some spiritual person, whatever, but I enjoy receiving their emails because they're usually not selling me anything, but their emails come with delightful stories or something that really brightens my day. And I'm feeling inspired to create content that is the thing to brighten somebody else's day based on the things that I'm interested in. So I think about my ideal client, a day in the life of my ideal client. She's going through the motions. She's doing what she has to do. She's being responsible. She's putting the mask on. She's doing what women do. And to just bring some joy, delight, some frivolity into her life, that feels very inspiring to me. So that's what I've been thinking about. Yep.
There are a lot of interesting ways that information's coming forth these days. It's just like this Udemy thing where people are giving you an opportunity to sign up for whatever information they're giving forth. And you pay a very reasonable amount of money and get a regular installment from them. You can take it at whatever speed you want. Then there are the podcasts where people are doing a regular, every so often there's a new podcast with someone talking to somebody very interesting.
Yes.
There's another site called Daily Om, where it's another group of people that are putting forth a more spiritual set of ideas, and you sign up for a daily lesson that is given to you through your email. It's in the vein of what you're talking about, I think. But there are lots of interesting vehicles out there for having that regular, installment of something that you've chosen that means something to you. I mean, I think the Daily Om folks, I've probably bought several of their classes, and yet I haven't stopped to do many of them. But they send a regular email daily, so that I know that this is a vein of information I'm very much interested in. Whether it's meditation or spirituality or whatever. There's so many interesting ways to put yourself forth.
Yes.
Where someone can subscribe to your particular way. I think you've got lots of possibilities out there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I realize, I'm not saying I'll never do Facebook ads and all those traditional internet marketing things, but I just feel, based on my experience, I feel there has to be more of a connection before there will be any more engagement. you know, and I feel I have to put in more of an effort to have that connection, you know. So yeah.
Could you put small videos on Instagram or Facebook? You know, like yourself, you're so in line with your brand, and you know, telling the stories you want to tell. That would be, I know it's a scary thing to do, but it was just make people connect so much with you. If you could just tell, you know, for instance, the story of this painting, and I think that people can see you and hear you. That would really be so good.
Yeah.
I haven't done that. But
You don't need to worry. Just imagine you're on a call like this.
Exactly. Just actually you can even do it at one of these recordings or something. You tell us a story of a painting and we record it, and you take it out and you use it, because you're so good at articulating your message. So it would just be so good.
okay.
You come across as an incredibly gracious person, then beautifully, you know, your whole demeanor, how you look, the way you wear your hair, your voice, which is very powerful, and it's soothing. And you have an effect. You just have to get over the hesitancy of sharing in that manner. I really think that if you put up, like Camilla said, small, short videos, contacting, you know, this is a way to get people to know who you are, a way to initially contact. Otherwise, you're going to have to go out in your community, meet people directly, and get involved with others that can assist in funneling folks in your direction. Now, there probably are places out there, you know, to do that. Spiritual groups that have similar leanings would be possibilities.
I don't think I've ever posted a video of myself like this. I just post videos of myself painting, and you see my hands and stuff. So I will consider putting myself out there.
Yes, please do.
You've got until Monday to do it.
Yeah, we do until our next meeting. No, it would be so good. It could just be if you post it on Instagram, it can only be 60 seconds. So if you just share a little bit, or you can use Instagram TV, and then it can be longer. And on Facebook, I don't know. I think it could be longer, but yeah.
Yeah, I prefer Instagram myself. So.
Me too.
You can share on Instagram. You can share it on Facebook. So it's on both platforms at the same time.
Right.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, you can do what.
That's true. There's also one more thing I just wanted to share randomly. So I've put these courses and things together, and I've decided I do not want to teach online courses. But what I have done, I've reached out to 2 friends who live quite far away, but it's still a drive. It's just about a 2-hour drive. And just asking them if they have, you know, they could gather about 6 to 8 women in their living room for me to come and give a talk, you know. And these are the little things I'm doing, because I said a couple of weeks ago or last week that the online course thing for me personally is a seduction to remain hidden. And I'm just challenging myself to get out into the world. So, and hopefully I could record these little gatherings.
Yeah,
so,
and use them.
Yes, so this is something that I'm looking into.
Yeah.
Also, the first time, your first video, that could be you painting while telling a story. So we don't see your face, and that will be a way to leap into it. Just you. Yeah.
I can do it.
Yes.
It hasn't been compelling enough yet, but I can do it. I know I can. So I will.
We're strong, independent women. We can do anything we want.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right. So is there anything else you would like to talk about?
I've got one question.
Mm-hmm.
Marianne brought up about podcasts. It's something I haven't got into. and it's something I know I should get into, but I wouldn't know where to start. So can you recommend where I should start, Marianne?
I honestly don't know. I just know it is an option.
Okay.
I know that the when I looked at the Udemy site, they give people the opportunity to teach a class. Of course, there's also Teachable that gives you an opportunity to teach a class. So I'm sure if you wanted to go through an outlet, they've got to have a way to do it. I'd Google it, how to start a podcast or where to locate your podcast. I'm sure there's got to be out there.
Do
I
you
just
know,
want to listen to begin with.
do you know about do you follow Creative Live, Alison?
I don't think
Okay.
so. What is
So
it?
Creative Live is this platform for creatives, and there are lots of lessons there. There's an excellent lesson on podcast, so I'll send you the link. I'll post the link in our group.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Creative Live.
I listen a lot to Kathy Heller's. It's called "Don't Keep Your Day Job," and she has these really great guests, and it's just it gets me back sometimes when I lose faith and I get back on track, because there's so many good points all the time, and she's had, for instance, Julia Cameron as a guest, and Seth Godin. There's I don't remember, but I really like them.
Okay.
So if you maybe if some of you are able to multitask and paint and listen. I can't do that. I wish I could, but then that would be good. I think she does one a week or something.
Oh, I've got the list. Oh, it's on Spotify.
Okay.
Okay. I have resisted signing up for Spotify because I just think it's a con. But hey. I have a room full of CDs and DVDs. Why would I want to pay somebody to play back what I've got on a disc downstairs? I can't get my head around that. My kids both have Spotify and they both pay for it, but I need to step into the 21st century.
You could start using your DVDs and your CDs for artwork. I saw a dress made out of them at a local trash couture show. It was quite impressive.
I'd make an awful lot of dresses, I can tell you that. I've got thousands of them. But never mind.
Did you just make a sale, Alison?
I did.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Wow, that's great. It was a large one.
Did you just see it on Facebook?
Yes.
I just put it on.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
Well done. Yeah.
Okay. So I won't be here on Monday. I might try and get in on Monday because I'm on this course. So I'm trampling up and down the side of mountains all day long painting. So I don't know whether I'll just be too tired to do anything. Probably. But if the dust settles and I'm somewhere where I can call in, then I will. But don't count on seeing me on Monday.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going on a spa retreat with my friend for 3 days. So I'm not gonna be here on Monday, but I'm gonna be here on Friday.
All right.
Yeah, me
okay.
too.
Well, both of you enjoy.
Thank you.
I think I'll need a spa retreat after my whole week of 3 days away.
All right. Okay, so have a wonderful weekend, everyone. and
Yeah, you too.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.